This is a NASA rocket presentation. We are from Northstar School, which is in Arlington, Texas.
We're the Northstar Skydivers, the transonic rocket design team. Presenting is myself, Nicole Dyer.
I'm Ian Bartholomew.
I'm Dante Sanchez.
And we have additional team members that couldn't be with us, and I am the team captain.
This is our team at our school.
Awesome.
We presented it at our school.
This is what our design looks like. Our length is
So,
our length is 116 inches. Our diameter is 4 inches. Mass is 320 ounces. And our margin is 2.37.
so I'm gonna stop right here. Those are big fins, huh? Okay. So you know, there's such a thing as being overstable, right? You're gonna come off the launch pad and a gust of wind's gonna hit you, and you're gonna turn sideways and have everybody running for cover, right? So.
The stability margin is within the limits, so it doesn't.
So what you got 1 to 3? Is that your
Yes.
calibers
Yeah.
bind, and you're at 2.37?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. It's interesting.
So the goals of our rocket are to successfully design, build, and launch a rocket made from commercial parts, reach transonic speeds, reach apogee before breaching 13,000 feet, successfully recover the rocket, and use data recorded from rocket for analysis and post-launch debriefing. For the simulation, to determine the effectiveness of our rocket, we designed 2 flight profiles within Excel and Roxen. This is our flight profile for Excel, and it shows reaching apogee at just over 10,000 feet at around 27 seconds.
This is our walk sim profile. We reach about 66 seconds, and we stay under 13,000.
Yeah, those are pretty close.
This is our assumptions for simulation. On our tail, we're using constant variables such as the CD. We have it as 0.3 right now. Our thrust, we're using 978.89. That's the average that we have, so that's constant. There's no weather conditions, and it's ideally completely straight up and straight down. There's no movement on the x-axis, and we cannot compute the added drag of the streamer that we have. On VoxSim, we have constantly changing variables such as the CD. We found that it can move between 1.78 to 0.12 because when it breaks the sound barrier, it changes.
And also when we deploy our streamers.
And the thrust is 978.89. That's the average again, but it changes over time.
So Roxim will do streamer calculations?
Yes.
All right. Can you go back to your altitude plot again?
This is
54. Okay, go one more. Okay, so that's the effect of streamers, is the difference in flight time or descent rate there?
I believe so.
Okay.
What engine are you guys using to get 978 newtons?
We have an L970 motor.
Is that the 1200 cc tank?
Is it 28?
How many
No,
seconds
it's
of burn?
2800.
2800?
Yes.
Yes.
So where are you guys launching from?
Fredericksburg.
They won't let you launch that there. It's too, yeah, you can't use that one there. You got, it's, what happens, a couple years ago they had one and it's still thrusting, once it gets up into the weather patterns above, because it's thrusting for 8.1 seconds, I believe, right? So it's gonna turn into the wind, and what happened is it buried itself about 50 feet from a lady across the road's front door. And so Fredericksburg promised that would never happen again. So you're gonna have to take a look at a smaller engine. Yeah, well, all you have to do is just change the tank out. Go
Right.
from the bigger tank to a smaller tank. It's going to take you down to a 610, and so you'll have 5.1 seconds of burn time instead of the 8.1, and that'll solve your problem right there.
I think it is actually 5.6 seconds of burn time.
If it's the 2800 cc, then if it's 5.6, you're good.
There's all my schedules. Just double check. 5.3. I have it.
Then you should be good. Then you should be okay. You're using a larger orifice in there probably then.
I was like, they gave us a list of which motors we couldn't
Right,
use.
okay,
and
you
this
guys are
was the one.
fine then. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
and
I'm
this
sorry
is-
I said
this
anything.
Wait a
wasn't
second.
on
Sorry, guys.
Like,
Okay, yeah, you guys are fine then because it'll burn out before then. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't go forward and not
Right.
with the right one. Good.
Yeah, because at that Newton level in 8.1, I'm shocked that one ever stayed under the ceiling either.
Yeah.
And so the walk sim that is perfectly constructed walking with no human error, of course.
So Roxim will put winds in?
Yeah, so you can
It lets you
do
choose.
mild.
Oh, you can choose like.
Yeah.
It can be calm, mild, and you can control 2 miles per hour, 4 miles per hour. So what we did is just the calm weather.
So the results of our simulation show that in Excel, the altitude average is 10,097 feet, max velocity is 1,200 feet per second, max acceleration is 300 feet per second squared, our total length of flight is 54 seconds, and our impact velocity is 406 feet per second, which isn't quite accurate because it doesn't take into account the added drag from the streamers. But RockSim is more accurate. It shows altitude averaging at 10,489 feet, max velocity at 1,212 feet per second, max acceleration at 499 feet per second squared, total length of flight is 66 seconds, and impact velocity is 256 feet per second.
Okay, so the first two are good. Any idea why do you think the acceleration's different? Max acceleration?
We didn't use a thrust
Right.
curve,
That's
so we're
exactly.
just using the average that we have.
Right, so you took that average impulse and smeared it over the
Yes.
entire burn time. In reality, right, you're going to get a
It'll go-
spike, and so that's why that value is wrong. But when you integrate it over velocity and apogee, so velocity and altitude, you don't see an impact to it, but you would see it obviously when you look at the acceleration. And then you explained why your flight time and velocity are different. You got a streamer on one and no streamer on the other. 256 feet per second. That's screaming. Do you break it? Does it break apart a little too? I mean, when you pop the streamer, you pop the nose cone,
Right.
and then it's got
Yes.
the
We have a
nose
shock
cone.
cord,
It's
so
shock
it'll
cord.
stay intact.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, this is the build materials. We're using the Hypertech L970, 2800 cc, 300 M motor. Our body tube is the 98mm blue body tube from Apogee. Our altimeter is the AIM USB 3.0 altimeter. We've used it before, so we know how to use it. The parachute is an Apogee 4-inch wide, 56-inch length mylar streamer. Our nose cone is a 4-inch fiberglass olive 4-to-1 nose cone. And our fins are custom fins from public missiles.
Alright, so I'm gonna talk about the actual layout of the rocket. We've got the streamer there, and we're not using a parachute because a parachute that high up will send the rocket forever. We've had that problem before, and
Never
we
saw
like
a
the-
rocket again.
We
Yep.
like the rocket. We've got the shock cord attaching the nose cone and the streamer to the bolt plates, which are stuck into the body tube. And in between the bolt plates, we've got our altimeter there to protect it from the black powder charge that knocks the cone off. We have 2 couplers on the rocket because it's in 3 separate pieces. That way it's easier to transport because it's not a huge long thing, it's 3 smaller sections, but it's also easier to get to all the parts on the inside.
Do you vent your altimeter bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Otherwise it won't work very
Yeah.
well.
Otherwise it-
It's something to, if you guys put altimeters on to use them, make sure they can read the pressure.
Yeah.
Not keep your.
Alright, and then there are centering rings around the motor because if it's not centered, it'll wiggle as it goes up and it might fall out or it'll throw off the flight, and that's not a good thing. And then the center of gravity and pressure are marked there at the end.
Your center of gravity's back pretty far too, but I assume you kind of move both back with the bigger fins. And you've got a pretty big, heavy motor.
That's really nice the way you're able to put the labels on each section like that. That looks really good.
So you did that in PowerPoint on
Yes.
top of a picture?
That's
I
cool.
took the picture from RockSim, put it in, and then added the arrows
Good
from
idea.
PowerPoint.
That's
How,
nice.
how do you size the streamer? Did you just,
It's the dimensions that were on the website.
It's what we had available,
Okay.
the sizes that were
Okay.
available to us.
how long is it?
56 inches.
46.
Oh, wide?
No, length.
4 inches wide.
4 inches wide.
4 inch wide, 56 inches.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
I got the 4 right.
I'm working on it.
Okay, no problem.
Alright, as I said, there's 4 separate body tubes so we can get to all the pieces on the inside without having to sort of guess where the stuff is and have to like reach far in order to get the stuff. We're using the blue tube because it's vulcanized paper for durability because it'll withstand the pressure better.
Right, whereas last year we used just a plain paper tube because we ordered so late, and our rocket shot up into our motor went into our rocket and it spiraled out of control.
Yeah, the screws
Blue tube
sort of
for us.
tore the material that we
Right
built out
through
of.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So the fiberglass fins actually on the previous rocket were just fine, and the wooden bolt plates did their job. So we're going to use them again because they didn't give us a problem, and the stability margin again is within the limits that we have.
Yep.
And then we'll eject the nose cone, and the streamers will go up to slow it down somewhat as the rocket comes down for recovery. And our challenges obviously are to recover the rocket relatively safely and to have enough space in the tube for streamers and bolt plates to protect the altimeter and get it all back. And then we would like to get a GoPro into the design of the rocket so we can see it as it goes up.
You gonna put it in the coupler tube or the nose
We're
cone?
not totally sure yet. We'd like to have a bay that it points downwards out of,
Right.
maybe using a fisheye lens. It's something we're still trying to figure out.
And we did the simulation with Roxanne with the added weight of the GoPro, and it didn't affect the numbers too much. So we could use close to the same design. It'll have a similar flight.
Very cool.
Thank you for your time.
One of the things you guys can consider so that you avoid that problem you had last year is use a thrust plate on the bottom. Because what that will do, instead of transferring the energy from the thrust from the engine to a bulkhead or a centering ring, it